not forget to take the thumbnail. Do not forget to take the thumbnail. Do not forget to take the thumbnail. I have a problem forgetting to take thumbnails. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today it is time to get my TBR in order for the month of September. That includes pulling a subgenre out of my genre bowl, you guys voting on 1 out of 5 options of physical books for me to read, and me shamefully showing you all of the ebooks I have on my Kindle and scrolling through in a very roulette-like fashion until we land on a page and I select a book to read. I always start with my subgenre pick for the month. Last month, I picked Arthurian fantasy. I have no comment about that. Let's see what I can get into this month. I'm just kind of moving them around, stirring them a little bit. Might need a break after Arthurian fantasy. They get all stuck together. I'm just trying to... There we go. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. I need to stir the bowl better. Dark fantasy. I feel better about dark fantasy than I do Arthurian fantasy. Unless I'm wrong about assigning the recommendation from Angie to dark fantasy. I know it's high fantasy, but could it be dark fantasy? I might already have one book available. This is also, dark fantasy was also the genre that I had in mind when I purchased Child of a Mad God. And also possibly this could be an excuse to read Nevernight, which has just been sitting there getting dusty for 3 years. It's going to be another month of fantasy, folks. Can I handle this? Let's move on to the 5 physical book selections that I have pulled from my TBR shelves. You guys get to pick which one of these 5 you want me to read, and I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to be a tough one. All of the books that I pull for you for Pick My Book every month are books that I definitely want to read. But just knowing you guys, knowing who subscribes, who comments and engages in the content, and which content people are most attracted to, I usually have a pretty good idea where your votes will fall, even as I'm trying to decide which books to read. Sometimes you guys surprise me. Sometimes you genuinely do. But I think that this month you're going to have a rough go of things. All 5 of these books, from what I can tell, and I believe I've done my thorough research, are the debut novels of these authors. They're also authors that I've never read before. So, you know, I like to get in on the ground floor, and hopefully it only gets better from there. Your first option is One Night Gone by Tara Laskowski. This is a mystery novel blurbed by Paul Tremblay as a timely and timeless mystery that will keep you obsessively reading well past your bedtime. This is the story of a woman who goes to Opal Beach to live a fantasy life for a while. She's escaping the harsh reality of her own life. It says there's friendship, love, starry skies, and wild parties. But then Maureen Hathaway vanishes. It doesn't tell you exactly what year that is, but it does say that decades later, another woman named Allison is offered the opportunity to house sit this beach house during the off season. And she jumps at the opportunity because she also is looking to escape her normal everyday life for a little bit. When she's there, she gets drawn into the mystery of what happened to Maureen and uncovers secrets about these gorgeous houses in Opal Beach and their residents. Tana French says a subtly but relentlessly unsettling novel. You know, and to be honest with you, I'm very attracted to this story, but I don't have super high expectations for my enjoyment of it. I think that it's probably a good book, but we are going to do the past, present, tango all the way throughout. I just know that going in. So it's not even my favorite format. I'm just attracted to the premise overall. I'm sure that I would have hauled it for you, but I honestly don't remember doing so. But if you want me to read One Night Gone, just let me know down in the comments section. The next debut novel is Wilder Girls. This is by Rory Power. This book has been all over booktube, and honest to God, it's not even one that I would necessarily be interested in, but there's so much hype, and some of my favorite booktubers actually like it a lot. There are some bad things that people are saying about it as well, but this is a young adult novel. This is the story of a group of girls who are quarantined together when some sort of outbreak called the Tox starts claiming lives. It starts with their teachers and then just slowly starts killing people one by one. Strange things start to happen. They start to, from my understanding, kind of grow plants out of themselves and stuff. There's no articulate way to express that. And if there is, I'm not the one. In the midst of this strange occurrence, one of the students goes missing and another one is determined to find her, even if that means that she has to break quarantine. Only, unbeknownst to these students that are quarantined, the outside world isn't what they've been made to believe. And you know how I love me a paradigm shift story where something that a character has been led to believe their entire lives turns out to be completely and utterly false. I love that. Let me know if you are also interested in the hype surrounding the Wilder Girls and you want me to read it in September. Next is the book If We Were Villains, the debut novel of ML Rio. This is the story of 7 Shakespearean actors, one of whom in present day is being released from jail. And upon his release, there are questions surrounding exactly what happened 7 years ago amongst this group of actors, specifically how the group of 7 was close friends for 4 years in university. And then finally in their 4th year, things turned really ugly. Someone ended up dead, and all of them started playing the most important roles of their lives, convincing the police that they were innocent. One person served 10 years in jail. So if you also think this one would be worthwhile, let me know. Next, I have the debut novel of Sarah Sparrow. This is A Guide for Murdered Children. I very recently hauled this, and a lot of people were interested in it. This is the story of the spirits of dead or murdered children possessing the bodies of adults in order to exact revenge on those responsible for their deaths. I mean, this is just, how can you not? That's a great premise. It's just a great marketing. Guide for Murdered Children, like, so wrong, and yet I just know that what is contained therein, it will be so right. Someone actually says, this novel is the Silence of the Lambs of our time. Sparrow teaches us about violence, vengeance, and redemption as one who intimately knows our devils and our better angels. They dance together in these pages. In my long career, I've seen nothing like it, not in fiction or non-fiction. That's really high praise. Like, that's crazy. I just think it's a totally awesome, unique concept. Like, this is one of those books that I would pay to have been the person to come up with this concept and execute it into a full-length novel. Like, good or bad, this is just a great idea. And, you know, the dark fiction little hellcat in me is just dying to read this book. So, if you're also intrigued, let me know. I think the biggest competition for that book will be The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. 7 deaths or 7.5 deaths, depending on where you are. I happen to have a version that is The 7 Deaths. Not to be confused with The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. This is the story of a woman who attends a party and is murdered. And she has to replay the night over and over and over again until the mystery of her death is solved. Aiden is the bartender / detective in this story, tasked with solving and I don't know if maybe preventing or just solving Evelyn's murder. Stops the cycle from continuing, but each day he wakes up, it's time to go to the party again, and he has to solve. I guess it takes him 7 times. I would assume the half Like, he probably prevents it. Okay, I'm just speculating about the end of the book now. That's a dumb thing to do. I have heard from a lot of you that you really, really liked this book. So if you want me to read it, let me know. All right, just to recap, even though the books will be listed down in the description box also, we have One Night Gone by Tara Laskowski. We have Wilder Girls by Rory Power. We have If We Were Villains by ML Rio. A Guide for Murdered Children by Sarah Sparrow, and The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. All of these are debut novels by authors that I have never read. Have you read them? So 2 down, 1 to go. Let's put the final piece of my TBR puzzle in place for the month of September and pick out a Kindle book. Okay, so it was suggested to me that I use a random number generator to determine the number of scrolls that I'm going to use when scrolling through my Kindle library. So here I am on Google, just typed in random number generator. I'd say probably 15 would be my max. I generated the number 9. And here we are in my Kindle library. Let's sort this by title A to Z. I can't remember what we've done in previous months, but let's sort it title A to Z and then give it 9 good scrolls. And then switch over to this view so we can see what we have. Wow, like none of this stuff sticks out to me, either as, you know, recognizing the author or the series or the title. I've already read this. I still haven't figured out how to mark things as read. I'm kind of interested just solely based on cover and author because, like I said, I recognize the author names, but I can't say that I've read any of these authors before, so I don't have any loyalty to any of them really. I do kind of want something a little lighter, so I'm probably not going to go with, you know, a mystery or a horror or a thriller. I'm really curious about the book The Fall Up by Martinez. Let me look that one up on Goodreads real quick. Okay, it's book number 1. That's key. 4.05 average star rating, over almost 10,000 ratings. That's pretty good. Let me read I wanted to jump, he made me fall. As a celebrity, I lived in the public eye, but somewhere along the way I'd lost myself in the spotlight until he found me. Sam Rivers was a gorgeous tattooed stranger who saved my life with nothing more than a simple conversation. But we were both standing on that bridge for a reason the night we met. The secrets of our past brought us together and then tore us apart. Could we find a reason to hold on as life constantly pulled us down? Or maybe there's only one direction to go when two people fall in love at rock bottom. Up. Nobody that I follow or am friends with has read it. Jess from Peace Love Books has marked it as to read. I'm going to mark it as want to read. That's going to be my Kindle pick for the month of September. The Fall Up. Sounds like a second chance romance. Not crazy about the celebrity aspect, but am crazy about the fact that it's only 262 pages. That's nice. But I can overlook celebrity for a gorgeous tattooed stranger. And the cover is absolutely gorgeous. And you know, like, that's all that matters. So that's exciting. We're slowly chipping away at my Kindle library. Like, 1 book a month is getting removed from my Kindle. Granted, 6 to 7 books a month are being added to my Kindle, but we're not going to talk about that. I've also been giving a lot of consideration to the TBR tournament that some of you really wanted to see for ebooks. If you still want to see that TBR tournament for my gigantic ebook library, let me know. I'm in a place where I might start putting that together, and I'd be filled with a huge sense of accomplishment. So let me know down in the comment section below if that's something that you're interested in, as well as weighing in on which book you want me to read for the month of September. If you need a reminder, those titles are down in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon.